What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 68 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Kroq-Gar campaign. So as we saw last time, Kroq took out a village who approached very close to us for some bizarre reason, and obviously had absolutely no chance against Kroq-Gar's army. Now this does certainly not do all that much to the, well, to Village's faction, but depending on how many territories we take through here and give them back to Cathay, we can certainly do a lot of damage. There's still way too much here for Kroq-Gar to handle himself, and honestly it probably is too much for him to handle even with another army here. We're definitely going to need to send help via the sea lanes. Fortunately, Illustria is ours, and we will be sending help relatively shortly. Kanoskir is going to move down towards Kairos, and hopefully with the help of the elves here, we should be able to handle him. Handle Kairos, that is. Whereas I guess Talashbok and Tehenowin and Gorok are going to go up north together, and then we'll send at least one, possibly even two, up this way to the Sea of Squalls, especially with the with Mazdamundi's army being on the way. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this time around, I do believe we did everything and even built everything by the looks of it, as we have no money remaining. But what we do have is Chameleon ready to get another attack going. Tehenowin has arrived, so we can't have Tehenowin showing up Chameleon, considering that we no longer have the one second, Basti upgrade, yes. Only one army that specializes in SKINKS. Let's get the points in there, and then we got a fairly decent battle by the looks of it to take. Marked for service buffs the leadership of the SKINKS, which I guess we are going to do next. Energetic is what? Weapon strength and no, okay, we're gonna go weapon strength and missile strength first. And this is why we need all these skink chiefs for Tehenowin as well. Look at all those beautiful upgrades. Energetic, and oh, you have nothing in Dance of Death. Oh yeah, because you were a lower level than the and then the others were, but that's just fine. And oh, okay, no, you did have replenished troops. How hard are we hitting? 37 weapon strength. Not horrible for a unit that hit for 160 units. That's not horrible at all. Alright, well, I believe that's... Okay, no, I lied. The Skink Priest also needs some levels. Oh, wow, plenty of levels in point of fact. Do you do... Well, the casualty replenishment rate for Skinks would be nice. Or do we head towards Arcane Conduit? Man, we use Flock of Doom and Pan's Impenetrable Pelt constantly, though. That's the thing that makes me mostly concerned about this. I think we go Earthing, and then we put at least another point in Flock of Doom. I'm tempted to get this, and I'm tempted to get this, but I still think that we probably want to get this, and actually Vison's Wild Form. And then max out Pans. They're just too good, especially for this army, but for many armies. Anyway, a close defeat by the looks of it, mostly by virtue of the fact that we're already fairly heavily damaged, but I believe in Chameleon. He's definitely pulled off some crazy wins in the past, and I do expect that he will do so again. Here we go.
Take Husa.
Alrighty, here we go. I am most definitely very excited about this particular battle. Chameleon always gives us the good fights because, well, he has to contend with having only Skinks to his army, though perhaps only is not quite the right qualifier for Skinks, as they've had such fantastic victories throughout the campaign. Anyway, we're going to begin the battle by charging the dinos towards the gate, while our two non-ancient Stegodons, the regular artillery Stegodons, start bringing down this Bretonnian tower. Often so strange to see orcs occupying these lovely Bretonnian cities. Alright, but they were built with the blood of peasants. Here we come to liberate them by eating them. As I mentioned before, it's still probably a better life than the life of a Bretonnian peasant anyway. And ooh, looks like the woods here are actually blocking our stegs from getting hit by this tower. I just saw two shots from it fail and get blocked by the trees. Yeah, two more shots failed. Damn. Oh, and a couple of our shots will fail as well, but I think a few of ours towers should still be able to get through. There we go. Beautiful. This is actually some unfortunately positioned wood. Whoever designed this city, it's their fault. They should have had peasants be cutting down woods this close to the tower so that the enemy wouldn't be able to approach. This is obviously silly. And this hill really doesn't look high enough for there to be no fortifications here. I feel like some forces could definitely go over the top of that hill there. Probably true for several of these hills here, to be honest. There's even a path out here just into the wilderness. What is this? This just goes directly into the city. This definitely doesn't seem very well designed. I guess maybe it's this portion of the settlement faces in such a way that, I don't know, they feel it's unlikely to ever get attacked from that direction, as where that's where other settlements are and stuff like that, so Bretonnia has control of the territory. That would make some sense, but you should at least have a gate there. Make it a little bit more difficult just in case somebody tries to pull something fancy, you know? Yeah. Brings elephants over the Alps or something. Anyway, what have we got going here? We have deployed six, that's literally half. 6 of our chameleon skinks, both the stalkers and the regular chameleon skinks, over on the side where the enemy cannot see them. The purpose is obvious. We're going to have them climb the walls and then allow the chameleon stalkers in, where we will assault the enemy from this side with the chameleon skinks. The regular red crests are here hiding in the trees so that they don't get hurt by towers or anything of that nature, while the dinos continue trying to break down the gate and break down the wall as well. The wall looks like it's going to take absolute ages to bring down, so we're probably just going to focus on the gate. That said, I'm going to speed this up a little bit as it's taking quite a while to break on through, and then we'll get back into it once the fight proper actually begins. There is an Arachnarok down here, and I believe 2 giants to contend with, so there's certainly some concerning stuff. Black orcs, boar boys, and yeah, we will have to be careful. Especially considering our skink chief heroes, at the very least, are relatively weak. Oh, and unfortunately, speaking of skink chief heroes, looks like one of them got stuck on the other side of the gate, which means the Arachnarok is going to start biting at that ancient Stegodon's tail. That's a shame. We're going to continue focusing that gate down, just hopefully to break through it with everybody else, but I'm really shocked at how slow the dinos are at breaking through it. I swear that giant wolves break through a gate faster than several dinos at the same time. I could be wrong, but I don't know, I don't think I am. Anyway, looks like more of our units are making their way through the gate, even though the gate is still not down. The buggy gate mechanics continue to annoy me throughout every campaign, but oh well. It's just part of the Total War experience at this point in time, as I frankly doubt it'll ever be fixed. Even though it feels like it would probably be an easy fix, just make it impassable terrain for an enemy when the gate is held by an enemy, and make it freely passable for whoever holds the gate. It's that easy. I don't see how you could possibly abuse that. I guess Sally, yeah, but you could do that anyway. Yeah. Well, either way, not important. It looks like the Arachnarok spider is going to run for it as Chameleon manages to see it off. Chameleon continues the fight against a giant here, but we have finally broken through the gate. And ooh, nice leap on that Carno, and then very nice stagger on that giant. Here comes an overcast flock of doom on the enemy. The enemy is piling up around us. We can see some black orcs and stuff down there, even though we're mostly watching the big boys duke it out at the time. Damn. I love those leaps from the Carno versus the giant, and I like how they're both ignoring the infantry below them. Turned out to be a fairly nice fight. Well, you keep going, Chameleon, but be careful. There's a lot of black orcs and biggins down there, and they're all trying to hit you. The other dinos are focused over on this side, where they've cleared a very nice path, at the very least, around the gate. The purpose of this was such that our red crest can move on in. Now, Chameleon has taken a little bit of damage, so we're going to just have him sit outside the main fight, at the very least, for a little while. He does have healing us. He is a perfect spawn after all, so he should recover that HP as long as he doesn't die, which is why I wasn't super worried about sending him to fight that giant in the pile of biggins and black orcs. Besides, we got plenty more dinos where that came from as they start focusing down the the giant instead, and flocks of doom as well as fire leech bolas will rain from the sky upon the massive piles of infantry below, which should most definitely go in our favor. In the meantime, over on this side of the map, we have captured the gate with one of our chameleon skinks and have made it through with our chameleon stalkers, which means these guys are going to begin the fight. We've seen the dinos do their thing, but this is a skink army, so I think it's only appropriate to watch the skinks fight a little bit more. Especially since the dinos are both literally and figuratively overshadowing the red-crested skinks below them, whereas the chameleon stalkers are only supported by the other chameleon skinks. Alright, and it looks like the biggins are getting absolutely ripped apart by the chameleon stalkers. They once again may not be buffed by Tehenoan, who would buff them insanely, but they're still pretty darn strong. 45 and 70 melee defense. Those are some very hardy chameleon stalkers. And you gotta love the unit. And every time I play the Lizardmen with all the units that were added, I'm always reminded of how much I hated playing the Lizardmen back when they were released, because their roster was so thin. They were missing so many units, and the army variety was basically non-existent. Back before Xhotl and Razor Dawns and Chameleon Stalkers and Salamanders, it was weird. And Ripperdactyls. I don't even remember. There's so many units have been added to this roster. I'm glad that I went back to the Lizardmen afterwards, though I think I gotta thank SFO for that one, because that was the thing that started to make Lizards fun for me again, even before the roster adjustments. But yeah, they're very fun once the roster is properly fleshed out, because you have so much more army variety. Alrighty, well, we're fighting more biggins here since I'm getting distracted and surrounding them with our chameleon stalkers, and I do mean surrounding as more chameleon stalkers are moving in. The enemy did send a unit of black orcs to try to deal with these chameleon stalkers, but 2 more units of stalkers are going to hit the black orcs in the back shortly. Chameleon still looks okay, roughly at about a third of his HP, though he's roughly hovering around the HP that he had when he was damaged, but he will continue to heal, and we will continue to make our way forward, as we are now starting to move up this ramp where a giant and some trolls, as well as more biggins and boar boys, are trying to hold. The red crests are also now fighting pretty thoroughly as well. It's not just the chameleon skinks doing all the damage, though once again, the giant units do a lot more damage here. But still, it's nice to have the Red Crest support, and you can't forget the Red Crested Skinks are dual-handed mace wielders and do armor-piercing damage. We even have one of them as a separated unit, and it's the Kink cohort. Absolutely fantastic. It's one of our named units. I gotta remember to save this name, since I've used it in 2 or 3 campaigns now. And now I'm attached. Alrighty, well done, King Cohort. They've taken out one of the enemy archer units back here, because those archers were firing down on us back here, and that was quite annoying. We also have Silith, our Silith little skink priest, working away at these towers, about to bring down one of the catapult towers, and we'll be moving on to the second tier 4 tower right after. The chameleon skinks, or the chameleon stalkers, I should say, have charged the enemy black orcs, and as we can see, they are well and truly surrounded. This is a pretty interesting matchup. In theory, the Black Orc should be vastly superior to the chameleon stalkers, but with their stats at 60-42, their defense or their attack is going to have a difficult time breaking through the 69 nice melee defense of those chameleon stalkers. Plus, they get constantly poisoned on top of that. Yeah. There's a fairly decent disparity between the weapon strength, as the Black Orcs have 1.5 times as much weapon strength, but that's hardly surprising. And they do have less kills than the chameleon stalkers so far, so good job to the little guys. Alright, keep on fighting. That was a pretty nice shot. I was trying to get a shot where it wasn't all shadowed and stuff like that. Over in the background, we can see some boar boys charging in, but we did move away one of our units of chameleon stalkers specifically to countercharge that unit of boar boys. And behind said chameleon stalkers, we have the chameleon skinks supporting them with those blowguns. And since the enemy was so nice and obliging to charge us here, our chameleon skinks are able to fire down from a hill and thus not do too much damage to our own stalkers. Although I imagine the resistance of the chameleon stalkers, 73% on the skinks and... Hey. Stalkers have 53 and 9 physical. Yeah, their missile resist is pretty darn insane. Which is appropriate. It's actually really nice, considering, well, the chameleon stalkers, they basically have a 60%-ish missile resist on top of the massive amount of melee defense, so to stuff that doesn't do splash damage, they're extremely resistant. Really, only things that do splash damage are extremely frightening to them. And big old cavalry charges, especially monstrous cavalry, of course, but yeah, they're quite good. Definitely gonna get at least a few of them into Tehenowin's army, though obviously his army will be primarily Red Crest, but just to have a couple units to act as, you know, pseudo-cav to be able to wreck enemy artillery pieces and such, in the same manner that we've been using these guys elsewhere. Anyway, it looks like the first enemy unit of Boar Boys is absolutely destroyed here. The Biggins are about to rout, though we have started to take a bit of damage on our various chameleon stalkers out here, and oh, I was about to say that we're doing fairly well, and we're doing really well. We finally made it up the ramp into the light and out of the shadow of those walls, though as we can see our Red Crests have taken damage. It doesn't look like they've actually lost too much in the way of models. 130 kills and 46k damage on Chameleon, and just out of curiosity, the Arcs of Sotek, 25k damage and 19k damage, not too shabby. Certainly not matching Chameleon, but well, that's hardly surprising. Who could match Chameleon? Alright, ripping apart these orcs that are holding the sort of central minor location here. It looks like the enemy army, or the enemy, well yeah, the enemy army or settlement will be overrun completely long before we make it to the actual main victory plaza. Looks like the Ragnarok tried to come back and charge our chameleon skinks, but the skinks essentially blowgunned it away until it could fight no more. The second unit of Boar Boys, the Boar Boy Biggins, have been ripped apart by the chameleon stalkers, who again have been doing a fantastic job. Gotta give it up to the chameleon stalkers. Definitely a showcase for them, considering they're not fighting in the way that they want to fight here, as in they're not hitting fragile enemy units out of stock. They're fighting actual enemies that are threats to them, like the Black Orcs and the Boar Boy Biggins. Well, they are fighting them no more as the enemy army decides to shatter and realize that they can fight the chameleon stalkers no further, as it seems to be a futile attempt. A Pyrrhic victory for us, hardly surprising, but definitely a pretty great fight. Alrighty, there we go, very nice. We certainly did take some damage, but it was very evenly distributed. So while it was technically a Pyrrhic victory due to the loss of somewhere between a quarter and a third of our army, once again, the even distribution means that we should heal up very nicely over the end turn. And once again, great battle from Chameleon. 2 giants and an Ragnarok in that army, and the little skinks, even without Tehenowin's buffs, still managed to win some fantastic battles. Alrighty, and we have Bordeleux, which is ours, and we did get to keep the Bordeleux Harbor. Fantastic. Tradable faction or tradable resources produced, and Lord Recruit rank +1, as well as a decent amount of cash. And we are also able to build the Morceau Valley orchards as well. Beautiful. Got a free administrator, River Brienne, Ancient Steg for Aban Mapok. As to whether we actually want these guys on Ancient Stegs, I'm not sure, because currently their regular Stegs allow them to knock down towers, which we don't have a capability of doing in this particular army as yet. So I think, wait, you are on a Ancient Steg. Yeah, we'll keep them on regular stegs for now. Anyway, we have a Ripperdactyl hatchery and another Sacred Spawning Caverns here. I don't think we need either at the current time. We need defenses, and we need a money increase. I guess we'll keep the Temple of the Old Ones. Yeah, I think this is not the place for the Sacred Spawning Caverns, mostly because the place will have 2 special buildings. Anyway, alignment to monuments for you. Well done, Chameleon. Alright, and I guess we'll be keeping Aquitaine as well, which will probably mean we'll need defenses there. There was another Skaven settlement at Castle Baston. Hopefully these guys take it out for us without us having to do the rest of it. But we'll keep moving north and taking out these enemies just so that our allies don't have to. We may also send Tic-Tac-Toe up north into Ulthuan to help this nonsense out, because they're our biggest ally right now and they're in trouble, clearly. And so are these guys. And so are these guys. Man, everybody's in trouble except where we're located. I feel like there's definitely something in the game that when you ally to an AI, the AI suddenly becomes weaker and does worse than it should. I wonder. One of these times what I might do is try to get a bunch of... try to do a campaign where it's essentially we... make a bunch of friends, but never actually get into any defensive or military alliances with them, just to see if the AI remains strong, and just out of curiosity to test the theory out. Anyway, that's it, I believe, for all we have to do this turn, so we are ready to end it. Skip, skip, skip. I think there was a commandments available somewhere. Outpost available with who? Steingart and, Golden Order. But we are able to recruit everything we need out of this place, so I don't think it's necessary right now. I'd rather keep the money for our own buildings. Mine of the Bearded Skull / Spine of Sotek. Let's get you your alignment to monuments. And we don't need the spawn pools of the Braves here, though I would like to check if there's a decent skink chief. Well, no more decent than the ones Teheneman already has, so yeah, we'll just keep those for now. Alrighty, more iron here at the mine as well. Swell. Garrison lore not moved. Skip damage building where? Oh, Drakenhof. We can continue ignoring that. Another commandment available at the Massive Forecal, but that won't matter because we'll be trading it to Durthu next turn as soon as we heal. Tic-Tac. Hero not moved. Oh, it's just delete. And outpost available with the Citadel of Dusk. I thought that we had built this, but apparently not. My bad, should have definitely built that earlier. Another outpost available with Heralds of Ariel. Yeah, but it's not anywhere that they can hold. So until those places become safe, there's no real point to it. And another commandment available? Okay, fair enough. Alignment to monument at Itza. Oh, I guess we did just acquire Xhotl, so it does make sense. And now we can end the turn. What are we at? 886? Yeah. Still a ways away from 1,000. Hopefully we don't get stopped by Kairos. It's going to happen eventually, and it's probably going to happen in the worst possible time for us, but it's not like we can do anything about it at the current time. Or ever. Until Kairos is dead. That's what we can do about it. Kill Kairos. It's funny how it seems in pretty much every campaign that Kairos ends up being the major threat. I mean, the stuff in Cathay as well, but yeah, Kairos is relatively safe down here, and it seems that his faction is generally stronger than the factions down there are. Tarantula, a tiny, weak, pathetic little army attacking. We're obviously not going to bother fighting that, especially considering the fact that we beat Wolfheart's own army with a much weaker, or with a much stronger stack. As in, Wolfheart's stack was stronger, not ours. Alright, Talzin, Arguelon, Heralds, Kurun, nobody else here, I believe, can do anything to us. And it looks like Vlad is also not attacking us again, but... Alright, Rite of Awakening performed, enemy killed in battle, ambush got foiled, but not this turn. It doesn't matter that it got foiled this time around. Ready for duty, technology researched, what are we at now? 919, getting closer to 1,000, ooh. Maybe when we get to 940, we can finally pop that, yes, wait, sequence of Cirrus of Migration. We can finally pop that research thing. Okay, so what I want to do is put you here, in camp, and just pray that Pyroxy manages to actually ambush you. You know what, go right here, and then go right here. 100% ambush success chance. You gotta succeed one time, Pyroxy, just one time. And Vlad will be ours. They gotta fall for this some point. Do we move closer to them now? Well, just stay where you were. Okay, well, with that, I do believe this is probably going to be where I'm going to call it. It's a new turn, and there's a lot more stuff to do, and we'll have to figure that out as we go. Oh, well, if it isn't Deathmaster Snitch, who we can reach, but I'm willing to bet he'll run. But either way, that's something for next turn that we'll have to figure out. We were going to move up to Shrine of the Alchemist anyway to try to help out Miao Ying and maybe give back some of this stuff to her so that she can start working on a new empire while we start here. I also see that the western provinces are not rebuilding any new units or rebuilding any armies, though we did kind of take all their cash. Ah, damn, Grimgor's moving up this way, which means we can't hold the Valley of the Horns, which means we have to back off, which, wow. A lot of giants. Yeah, okay, I think we're gonna have to send Koparev this way briefly just to take out Grimgor, because it looks like he's going to bypass the Knights of Kalidor's territories to go for us instead. A great annoyance. But I don't see how we can do anything else about it. Anyway, calling it here. More battles to come. Hopefully we can start annoying Kairos soon. We also have the recruitment completed for Socorus Mate's army, so we just have to get it down there, and then once again we just have to start sending all of these troops around to south, to go south and deal with Kairos. Anyway, stay tuned for more Lizards. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.